Boomer Sooner.
Handoff up the middle, easy like Sunday morning, touchdown.
This is the Riverwind Casino Coach's Corner on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. Also brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by Walden Cleaners. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. This is the Riverwind Casino Coach's Corner. Here are your hosts, Chris Plank and Gabe Ikert.
Welcome inside the Coach's Corner, presented by Riverwind Casino, along with Gabe Ikert. I'm Chris Plank, and say hello to Sooner tight ends coach, one of the best tight ends in Sooner history. Joe John Finley is in the house. Congratulations, Coach. What a start.
Appreciate it. It's been a good start, man. 2-0. That's our goal. Go 1-0 every week, and that's what we've done so far. Excited for the guys and just excited for this week.
Our opening segment, as always, is brought to you by Community Coffee, family-owned Community Coffee, the official brewed coffee of OU Athletics. Taste the difference family makes. Okay, just full disclosure, we taped this and aired on Thursday, so Joe John is along, put the Michigan game behind him, but for the sake of us and the fans, let's look back. What a special night for the fans. I mean, they really made a difference, didn't they?
They sure did, man. They show up every single week, and they made a difference in that game. You know, they have a young freshman quarterback, true freshman quarterback, first time on the road, and I think it affected them and how they called the game. And our guys did a great job responding to everything that happened. As you know, we had some hiccups in the special teams area, but the guys never flinched. They just kept playing one play at a time, and we looked up at the end and we were ahead, so it was good.
Jaren Kanak is not only one of the best stories on this team, but one of the best stories in college football.
I love you're asking about Kanak while you're wearing your Burger Time shirt.
Listen, I've told all these guys, if you do NIL merch and you give me one, I will wear it on television for you. I've told them all.
Yeah.
Just I'm here to support these guys.
Absolutely.
I'm here to support anything for the program, boys. But Kanak has he's been such a big weapon through 2 games for this offense. What do you think it says about him that he's been able to make this adjustment to offense and be such a big piece of what this group is doing?
It just speaks to his work ethic. You know, he's been up here in the facility 24/7. I mean, he doesn't go home on holidays. He doesn't go home on spring break. He's always up here watching tape. He puts in the work, and he still has a long ways to go. But, man, he's more natural on the offense side of the ball. He'll be the first one to tell you that. He tried linebacker for 3 years, and I still don't think he's ever seen a guard pull. So, but when you put the ball in his hands, as you can see, it's pretty natural for him, and he enjoys it. But he's put in a lot of work since we ended last season, and everybody in the room respects him because they know how hard he works. And I couldn't be happier for him. I think, you know, like I always say in here, it's karma. He works his butt off, so the ball's going to find him, and that was right there a big play to get us started, man. First drive of the game, third and long, and he reaches out and make a one-handed catch to get us going, and that kind of sparked us for the rest of the game. And he's got a long ways to go in his blocking and everything, as you can see, but man, he kind of makes up for it with his effort, and this is what I like. I like watching him run with that ball. That first game he had one taken away from him, and so the whole week he walked around with the football. If he wasn't in the game, he had a football up underneath his chin, and I couldn't
the program
be happier for him.
style.
The program, baby.
That's right. Somebody else bring it to me. We'll do some up downs.
Now, you mentioned developing as a blocker for Jaren. Are you starting to see improvement from him in that area of his game? Because it's clear that just get the ball to the guy in the passing game, he's going to make things happen with the type of athlete he is. But what type of progress are you seeing from him becoming more of a complete player at that tight end position?
I think it's night and day. I mean, as you can tell, it's hard for a freshman coming in to learn the tight end position. It's basically what he learned. You know, just coming in. You know, it's his 4th year as a college football player, but first year as a tight end, and he played quarterback in high school, running back, receiver, all that stuff. But he's never put his hands on someone and blocked them. But if you could have seen him day one at spring ball to now, it's night and day, and he's still got a lot of room for improvement, especially when he's in line. You know, he's a physical guy, so when he comes across and he's blocking split zone and kicking out D ends, it's pretty natural for him because he's not afraid of contact. But blocking a 270-pound defensive end and putting your hands inside and having a base, having your feet in the ground is something that's not natural. And so he's continuing to learn that, and he gets better every single week.
We got much more to talk about, not just with Jaren Kanak, but you've got a very deep room. There's a lot of names in there, maybe some names we haven't really had a chance to talk about or even see this season. But I want to know how things have developed for you in learning this offense and being with Ben Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator. What's that process been like for you in not just understanding what he wants, but also being able to, execute it and learn about it and what he's all about? What's it like working with him?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. He's a young guy that brings a lot of energy and juice, but at the same time he commands the respect in the room. And it's not an easy thing to do, to come into a room with guys that have been coaching for a long time and had a lot of success and be that young and put in a new offense. But he's done a great job, man. He's a genius when it comes to offensive football and does a great job with the quarterbacks, along with Kuz, John Kuz that works with the quarterbacks as well. But I think there's a lot of similarities to him and the last coach that we had here as far as offense, and some of the terminology is the same. But again, I've learned about 43 offenses.
I was going to say, you
got a lot
of
of knowledge there, brother.
Is this your third or fourth offense you've learned since you've been here 5 years?
This would be my third since I've been here, but
total, going back to Missouri, Ole Miss. There's
a lot. Plus, NFL and high school. But it's you come learn everything. Everybody does a form of the same things. It's just how they coach it and how they communicate it. And so the transition was really easy, but it's still a transition more for our players than it was for the coaches. And they've done a great job and Mateer's done a great job, man. Even when we're not in town and we're not able to coach these guys, he's been in the offense, and so that helps that he can kind of coach these guys when we're not around, and he knows exactly where he wants the receiver to be, and he also knows the protections very well, and that's why he's done a pretty good job of protecting him in these first two games, because he's locked into that, understands where he's protected and where he's not. But it's been fun, man. It's like a new challenge. Football's something you're always learning. As soon as you stop learning, you're going to lose, and it's been a lot of fun.
I think one of the most exciting things, looking back at the Michigan game, is you guys had some big plays. You put some points on the board against a defense that I think has a lot of draft picks on it. But you left a lot out there on the field offensively. So how exciting is it to see this offense have some early success, but knowing how much room for improvement there is, Joe John?
Well, it's always great. You don't want to peak too early in the season, and so whenever you go back in and watch the tape, you got something to coach off of. Whenever you play so well early in the season, they feel like they get complacent, feel like they got it figured out, and all of a sudden you have to get humbled late in the season. And so it's good to have success so that they can feel what it feels like and have some confidence and get in a rhythm throughout the season. But we have to continue to get better, and the mistakes that you see on tape they're easy, and it's easy to point out, and the guys understand that. We have an experienced football team, guys that have played a lot of football, and so they understand that it's going to take more and more as the season gets.
Obviously we've watched the highlights incessantly from last Saturday. You've watched it probably more than anyone, at least in the game tape. I think what I dig is seeing how everyone, wide receiver, tight end, is doing their job blocking downfield. It seems like this is a team between obviously yourself and Emmett and Coach Bedenbaugh, really committed to, once the ball is in someone else's hands, they're going to go out and get their guy.
And that's the thing. It's football is the ultimate team game. Run game, big plays happen. A lot of times you get through the first wave, the front seven, but then the big plays happen when you block the safeties, and now we just have to make a corner miss. Right. Whenever you have to make a linebacker miss and a safety, and then the receiver's usually standing in the way. If he's not blocking, it's another guy you have to make miss. That's something that we've taken great pride in. Coach Emmett Jones and those guys have done a great job of stressing that to our guys. And then the same thing with the offensive line and tight ends, man. If you're asked to protect, and the pass game is just as important for the offensive line as it is the receivers. It's a team game, and the quarterback makes it all go, and we got a pretty good one.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to get physical out there, as John Mateer, is he? I mean, we got to work more on getting him down, or do you like that as an old tight end?
Well, you like it both ways. It kind of sets the tone for the season. I think if he shows that he's going to do that, man, everybody wants to play even harder for him. And at the same time, hey, man, whenever it's not necessary to get out of
Pick your spots, John.
Exactly.
Pick your spots.
It's going to be a long season. Everybody knows this conference is physical as it gets, and so, you know, I mean, you got to pick the spots. There's a time for that. You know, I mean, there is a time for that, but it's not all the time.
Love it. Love it. That's Joe Jon Finley. We got another segment. We'll preview Temple. Talk about his deep room next inside the Coach's Corner, presented by Riverwind.
Coach's Corner is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Riverwind Casino, it's always a good time.
Uh-oh. Jason White, too. Joe Jon Finley.
Throwback.
Look how smooth that is. I
Look
like
at that hair. Look at the lettuce flowing out of the back of the
Goodness,
helmet.
that's incredible.
Bomar said.
Just going up and getting it over a Kansas State defender. Hold on, I think we got one more here. There's the career numbers. 775 yards. We've seen
The 19 was a good call.
two
The
of
1-9
his 10 TDs.
looks,
Look
the
good.
1-9 looks good.
You ever break out the old film to show the guys, or no? Is that just...
I don't. It's not great. It's not great. I tell them all the time, be way better than I was.
Hey, one thing, Joe Jon, is in talking about Kanak, which we did in the Open, is there anything that surprised you about him being so smooth in this transition, or at least from a fan's perspective, smooth in this transition to tight end? Has anything surprised you about just how smooth it seems to be going?
Yeah, just, you know, how well he does with the ball in his hands. You know what I mean? He hadn't done that since high school, and it's just, like he says all the time, it's just natural for him. Like he caught the little flat route the other day and cut it back inside, and he's really, really good with the ball in his hands, and then the catch, I mean, it's just natural for him to catch the ball. He probably hadn't caught balls since he was in high school, and he makes a one-handed grab over the middle, and most of the time you're going to get hit pretty hard. And so I'm just very proud of him, and at the same time, I got to keep pushing him to get better.
Yeah.
Will Huggins has primarily been the other tight end that we've seen on the field, whether it's the 11 personnel stuff and giving Kanak a breather, or when you guys go 12 personnel and you got two tight ends on the field. What's been your assessment of what you've seen from Will so far?
He's done a good job. You know, he plays hard. He's really a calming influence in the meeting room. You know, he's played a lot of football. He's an old guy. He's 23 years old. But just understanding and leadership in the room. You know, he kind of pulls the young guys along and helps them get better. And he's solid. He just keeps getting better and better. He's a big, tall guy. He's 6'6", 260 pounds. And so it's not easy to block. You know, it's just something that he's got to work on to continue to bend and bring his feet with him. But excited with where he's at and hope to continue to, because he can make some plays too. He made some big plays in spring ball and in fall camp. And so he hadn't had the chance to do that yet, but when he does, you're going to like what you see.
Carson Kent was a guy that we saw in a handful of snaps in the Illinois State game, and I was actually impressed with the way that he looked as a blocker. I know he's not the tallest guy, but is he the type of player that can be a factor for this offense throughout the season?
Absolutely, he will be. He's, like you said, he looks really good out there. He's put together well.
Good route runner.
He's a really good route runner, but he's learning the offense. You know what I mean? As he continues to get more comfortable, and he is, man. I feel like even this week in practice, he's taken another step. And so I think you can look forward to seeing him on the field a little bit more. And I think what he can do in the pass game, you can talk with Mateer about this. He made as many plays as anybody in camp and in spring ball. And so excited for him to feel more comfortable and have the ability to go out there and make some plays.
When is Caden Helms going to have the use of both of his hands? I think we are all, the entire fan base is rooting for this guy. Yep. Injuries have been such an issue for him throughout his career here. Was having a great spring, great camp until the hand injury. Yep. What's kind of the timetable for Caden?
I think it'll be within the next couple of weeks. You know, I think he'll have an X-ray this week, and they'll be able to tell us a lot more. But, you know, just felt it for him. You know, it just seems like it's one after another.
With one hand.
And it was just a freak deal. You know, it wasn't even blocking anybody. He was actually carrying the football when it happened, and it's just football. You know how it happens. And But he's handled it like a pro. You know, he was down for about 2 or 3 days, and I was like, hey man, this is just like everything else. You gotta, you know, you go through this process, and then you got to come out of it because you're still able to practice. He's still out there practicing. You know, if he drops a pass, I don't give him a minus. But I like that he missed 2 days, and now he's got a cast on his hand, and he's right back to practicing. And so I respect him for everything he's done, and everybody on the football team respects him as well. So I can't wait for him to get healthy and be able to show us what he can do.
I just, from what I saw from him in spring ball and in training camp, he seemed like your best all-around tight end. So I'm really excited for him to come back from the injury because it's like you're getting reinforcements at the position, and that's just extremely exciling for me.
That's right. Both of my Nebraska guys should be getting back.
Yeah, the McIntyre.
Caden Helms and Cade McIntyre, they both, you know, those are the guys that I've been able to develop, and they just can't seem to stay healthy. But, man, when you turn the tape on and you want to talk about technique and what it's supposed to look like as a tight end, and you've played the position, but it's
I was so
those
good
are the
at
ones
it
that
that
are
they
close.
moved me to the offensive line.
That's right. It wasn't the blocking part that got you in
The
trouble.
blocking part I had down, baby.
That's right. So I'm excited for those guys to get back and show what they can do. Cade, both of those guys they're just itching to get back on the football field, and they've earned the right to be on the football field. And so as soon as they can get healthy, then I expect to see them out there.
It's exciting to hear that Cade McIntyre may be close to returning because when you look at Jaren Kanak, McIntyre is like the most similar from a body type and skill set standpoint. And like you mentioned earlier, it's a long season, man. So you can do some of the things with Cade out there and give Jaren some snaps off because he does have the skill set. Like, hey, he can get up and run,
That's right.
be a threat in the pass game, do some of the more H-back type stuff.
That's right. I mean, if you turn on their high school tape, you're going to be like, man, this is the same guy. One of them's do it in small town Kansas, one of them's do it in small town Nebraska. And so they both played quarterback, running back, receiver in high school, and they're natural with the ball in their hands. And McIntyre, he really took a step last fall camp. I told the coaches this is the most improved tight end I've seen from one spring to a fall camp in my entire life. And so I'm excited for him to get out there and go do it. I feel like the game is slow for him for like a veteran. You just haven't been able to see it because of the injuries. And so you're going to like what you see with 19 out there.
This segment's brought to you by Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. Temple, what have you seen from the Owls as we make our first road trip this
Very
weekend?
well coached football team. You know, they've been dominating the first 2 games. They're averaging, close to 50 points and giving up, less than 10. And so it's a group that is hungry to be good. You know what I mean? I know they had a rough year last year, but similar to us, they're hungry to turn this thing around. And it'll be a challenge for our guys. You know, it's going to be an early game after a long flight, after a big game. And so I feel like they've handled the week of practice. I feel like Tuesday and Wednesday was better than last week, which is it's easy to have a drop-off after such a big game. But excited to see them take on the challenge and go play Temple.
You are never a guy that lacks juice before the game, but this does feel like a BYOJ, bring your own juice game. It's just going to be a weird environment there in an NFL stadium, not really sure how big of a crowd.
Yep.
Is that something you've talked about with your guys, is generating your own energy for this one?
Absolutely. That's what we started preaching as soon as the last game was over. You know, you got to bring your own juice, and that's coaches, players, training staff. You know, Smitty's going to be juiced up on the
Radio
sideline.
crew.
That's
We'll be
right.
juiced.
Radio crew.
We'll be
That's
juiced.
it. So that's the main emphasis, because if we play our best, it's always about Oklahoma. You know what I mean? Temple's going to have their own challenges, and we got to bring our best and again, play one play at a time, end up 1-0, and look up at the scoreboard at the end of it and make sure we're ahead.
Congrats on the great start. Good luck on 1-0 this weekend, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.
It's Joe John Finley. Jay Valai is next inside the Coach's Corner, presented by Riverwind.
Coach's Corner is brought to you by Riverwind Casino. It's always a good time. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Sooner Kids Club. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Kids Club, presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Devon Energy.
We want to thank all of our Sooner Radio Network affiliates across the state and region. Fans can check out Soonersports.com for an affiliate in your area. And if you're traveling outside the state of Oklahoma, you can listen to all the action on either SiriusXM Radio or download the Varsity Network app and listen free.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner, presented by Riverwind Casino. By the way, this segment is brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. He is Jay Valai, Sooner Corners coach, and so much more. And
my guy.
Yeah, so much more.
The man.
So you actually spent some time with Philly, huh? How's the stadium? How's the setup?
Yeah, funny man. I never actually went inside the stadium. I was always at the practice facility and everything we did, but I was the Eagles coach. Was it 2021?
Okay.
For 2 months with Nick Sirianni and that staff, and then couldn't find a place to live, and Coach Saban came and everything happened and went to Alabama. But Philly's a great town, great sports town, Rocky, and the whole nine. So it was really good.
I wonder if that happens a lot. I mean, and probably much more. Like, we would have never known this unless you came in and told us, right, before we started. Full disclosure.
Touché.
But I mean, that's just wild to think. You get to a city, all of a sudden, it's like, I can't find a place to live. Coach Saban calls.
Yeah, well, the boss helped me out a lot with that. Called my wife. So I loved JG, Jonathan Gannon, and Coach Sirianni was really good. It's just, it was just post-COVID. Nobody moved, trying to figure out all this stuff. We just had our daughter.
Yeah.
And when it came down to it, it was a family decision. But awesome. Obviously, they're doing really well, and cheering for them as much as you possibly can, being a guy from Dallas. But, it's awesome. It's going to be a fun experience.
Jay Valai, your corners have been outstanding to start the season. We give this disclaimer for every coach. It's Thursday when we tape this, so you're way past it.
Hope you're right on Saturday as well too. But
yeah. But take me through just the excitement and the energy you saw from your guys and how well they played in that big one Saturday.
Yeah, I think the reason they played well, I think they make practice a big one every single day. It's their process, and the fact that they know is that especially in my room, I always say you're always on the heater because, there's guys who are still coming back. So guys are fighting for jobs every single day in practice, every single drill, every single moment because they want to be in the moment. So, guys like Cortland Guillory, who's been a dog and just a mindset, and he comes to practice like it's recess every single day and with a crazy aggressive mindset, but he wants to learn, continual learner. And having Gentry back healthy is always a great thing to have as well too. And Jen's got a chip on his shoulder. And he wants to prove a lot to people. So those two have been the starters who've been really, really good. And guys like Day Jordan's been ready to roll as well too, and playing strong and having good coverage and getting some of the other guys back here in a second is going to be really fun as well too. So
you mentioned Cortland Guillory, one of the most impressive true freshmen in the country through the first 2 weeks of the college football season.
Right.
Is this what you saw coming from him? Was this your expectation for this guy?
100%, because I know his mindset. His mindset, grind while they sleep, hustle while they play, live like they dream. I mean, he's asking questions throughout the summer. What can I do? What more do I need to do? And then I challenge him every single day. And the kid's got heart. He's got a heart and plays with passion and is detailed with his process. And, his pre-snap awareness for a young guy is elite, but his effort and his want-to, you can't teach that part, There's guys who like it, and there's guys who don't, and he likes every single bit of it. Like I said, this is recess for him. Him going out there and being a guy who loves the stage and loves the moment has been huge. So seeing his aggression and seeing him reminds me a lot of just a different version of what Eli was last year too, with that same mindset.
Where have you seen him improve the most now that he's out there under the lights, getting game reps?
Yeah, the process, our defense isn't cookie cutter, to say the least.
Not simple.
Not simple, but it's great. And once guys can really get it, especially at a young age, I keep talking about process. He's process-oriented when he steps on the field with his cast car. It's called lineman stands key responsibility. He's process-oriented when he comes in and watches extra film every morning, every night. He does double, cryo, and red light every single day, every single night, and just he treats himself like a pro. He has the heart of a kid, but what he does every single day is like a grown man in everything he does. So, but same thing with Gentry. Gentry's the same way. He leaves the room saying it, and Kendall Dobie, same exact way. And he'll be back really, 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 really soon. So it'll be
How
good.
many releases was that? Five?
So,
Five releases?
Yeah. So he's been the guy who's been really excited and passionate to play, and he's been one of the best leaders we've had on this team. So put them all together with the group of guys we got, and having Eli coming back soon as well too is going to be fun. But guys like Jacoby Johnson and Malik and Tristan, some of the those younger guys, but I've been working their tails off. But Jacoby Johnson getting back and help out a bunch as well too.
Guillory's been awesome.
Yep.
Gentry has been awesome. Day Jordan, when he's got in, has played at a high level. And the two guys that probably would have been projected as the starters are coming back. What was that? Very, 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 very soon.
They'll be back soon. They'll be back soon.
You
Yes,
have
sir.
to be sleeping great at night.
Yeah, sleeping better. But the biggest thing is way better than we have previous years with the injuries and everything we had to deal with. Thank God. Knock on every single wood possible here.
For more.
Yeah, but I think the best thing in that room is having those guys have that mindset of like, my tail's on the line every single day. Because once again, there isn't a day they don't want to do extra because, two corners go out there at a time, and they want to be that guy. So what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? And I don't play politics. Whoever's the best guy is going to play. And just keep it simple. Whether you're a freshman, whether you're a senior, whether you're 6'2", whether you're 5'9", the best football player will play. And I think having that mindset from one time, remember the guys love each other too, but they want to push each other as well.
Just from a former player perspective.
100%.
That's all you want from your coach.
That's all you want.
That's all you
Appreciate
want.
it.
Transparency, meritocracy. That's all you want.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And so, like I said, I told the guys in the room, first thing I said, ain't nobody's daddy or mama gonna save them. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be just keeping it real. Like, hey, I love all your parents, but once again, the best guy is gonna play, and that's all you can ask for, because that's all I want to as a former player too, which is a strong thing you say.
No, I pointed to both of us.
It's the same.
That was a we.
No, but it's a
That was
we.
a
But
we.
to me, that's one thing I always thought in my mind was, if you can always keep it 100 with the players, no matter, and always show them that love, they'll run through a wall for you, and
doubt.
based off the honesty and who you are. So
That's awesome. What has allowed Eli last year, obviously, and what we've seen from Cortland this year, but what do you think has allowed freshmen, youngsters, newcomers, historically with Jay Valai, to have this opportunity to come in and make an immediate impact?
I think open opportunity, like we just said, and just the thought process of, if I put more into it, what am I going to get out of it? And I think it's big that you watch older guys who do the work, but I think you can learn just as much from people, what I learned before too, just being in this coaching profession, you learn a lot from people you want to be like. You can learn more from people you don't want to be like, and what they're not doing in their process to make you exponentially grow as well too. So taking bits and pieces from people, and then watching people, and wise man learns from others. So you do that, and to me, Eli did that a bunch last year. Be exact, be specific, and trust the technique, and be aggressive. Scheme starts to play. Who you are and your passion, your technique, finish it. So make sure you're writing your name on everything you do.
Going back and thinking about the Michigan game, knew it was going to be a physical challenge. Now, most people, when they think the corner position, it's covering.
Yeah.
But
Sass.
you knew that you guys were going to get pulled into the run
100%.
fit, and they were going to try to play, big boy football.
100%.
How did you feel your guys handled the physicality of that game?
I think you as a man, not even a football player, but what people always talk about, bringing those guys into the fit, and the corner position, the guys you want to make tackle.
Make 'em tackle.
Make them tackle. Hey, just make them tackle.
Make that corner tackle. Come on.
Let's go tackle. Let's throw our bodies in everything and take it personally, because to me, it's calling you out your name when they do that. So, you motivate the guys like that. They want to be on every tackle. They want to hit people. They want to fly around. This is football. Once again, I recruit football players that play corner or play nickel or play whatever. I don't recruit corners that play football. So, in everything you do, like that big hit by K5, my guy, who's one of my favorite human beings on this earth too, having that go around, and everybody has that mindset to throw their body in at all times, and to play with that passion is everything.
Yeah, Coach Venables was talking about Cortland Guillory, and we were doing the Monday Night Show at Rudy's, and he said he's reckless with his body, and it's like he lit up whenever he was talking about it. But it's like a controlled aggression, right?
Yeah.
It's like he understands
controlled
the assignment.
chaos.
Yeah.
Controlled chaos, and he's got a long way to go too. The thing he knows is that right now, don't put the cart in front of the horse, and because everybody's patting your back. As soon as one thing goes down, it'll flip right around as well too. So, the rule of humility is right. You're either going to be humble or you're going to get humbled. So, in his mindset, I got to stay humble, and then whoever's not humble I play against, I got to do God's work. To humble them. So.
All right, we got much more coming with Jay Valai. We're going to preview the Temple Owls, and we got more guys in that room to talk about, including the resurgence of Gentry Williams and the we're really close with Kendall Dobie. And
I think it was
Eli,
5 really.
Yeah, I think it was 5
really close.
We'll talk about it next. This segment has been presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. You're inside the Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner is brought to you by Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. OU's 2025 football games are available on Ritmo 96.5 FM in Oklahoma City and 101.5 FM El Patron in Tulsa, as well as on these stations' websites. Each OU Spanish broadcast will feature a 30-minute pregame show and a 15-minute postgame show.
Tackled me in practice.
Welcome back inside the Coach's Corner, presented by Riverwind. Our guest is the Sooner co-defensive coordinator, cornerback, Nicholls coach in his 4th season at Oklahoma. He is Jay Valai, and this segment is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, the official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. You mentioned K5.
K5.
Good nickname. Kendall Daniels. What about the impact he's made?
He's been fantastic. He's obviously working with all us back there. Coach Goodwin's done a phenomenal job with him as well. But his mindset, his physicality, his violence, and just the personal relationship that we have and helping getting him here too, and just the dude he is with his parents, and he's just a passionate dude who just bleeds Oklahoma and everything he does, man. Begs his finest, as we say. So
Begs America, baby.
Yeah, begs America. But he puts a smile on my face every single day, and the work with Coach Goodwin, Coach Dryland, he's done on the inside, and asking and talking in their meetings and the questions he asks, he's just he's a different human being.
Coach Venables has mentioned multiple times this season that you guys are meeting as a back seven.
Oh, yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
What has that collaboration been like for you, Dryling, Goodwin, Coach Hall? Like, how important has that been? And what do you think how much of your success that you've had defensively do you think those meetings are having?
I think we flow really well together because everybody knows that everybody's thinking. Any questions we have, we get it cleaned up right then and there. And it's just like a music group. You know, one person has the mic, then he spins around, the next guy pops up, then he pops up, but it's been good, man. Just guys like that, where Coach Goodwin's been awesome and Nate's been awesome. They're both two of the funniest human beings you ever met in your life too. Like, don't believe anything. If you just see them like this too, it's the biggest lie. They are funny.
I see the way they act during the game, and I think they're my kind of guys.
Oh, they're two of the best people I've been around in my life. But them with Coach Hall and myself, and then Coach V in there as well too, just collaborating and talking and seeing big picture perspective. And I mean, I don't know how many corners, understand what gap scheme is, you know what I mean? Because we talk about that a lot, and zone scheme and understanding your thought process, or how many linebackers understand route concepts. So I think seeing it from both perspectives and putting it together, and that FBI, the football intelligence, just boost out.
It's also helpful when you have the defensive line that we've got.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah.
What have you, it's all connected defensively. What have you seen from that group as a whole, and what type of confidence does that instill in the guys in your room?
It instills huge confidence and makes us actually play at a higher level, because we don't, right, wrong, or different. We don't want to be the reason, the but. We don't want to be the but. You see how hard they're working for. We want to be the why, and just like them and what they do, the physicality, the violence on the inside from our DTs, who's been, dramatic and awesome, and then our DNs with Chavo and the crew and the way they play, R. Mason, Marv, Big Tay, and PJ, and all those guys, and the rest of the group, man, just the mindset of everybody. And it's the biggest things that we think, because we constantly want to send a message of who we are. So it's been great playing off the D-line and making a name for yourself as well too.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Temple.
Yep.
New everything. Completely different team outside of the quarterback, but a completely different team than what Oklahoma saw last year whenever they came here to Norman. Now we're off to Philly. What's kind of stood out about the Owls as you started to scout them and break them down?
Great coaches, great scheme, hungry players who want to prove themselves. And to me, games like this are the games that you really see who your DNA is as a football team. And I think our preparation has been pretty good this week. I think guys are really focused and understand we're going to Philly, different environment. And, I coached at Rutgers for years, so I know what that environment is as well, too. We call it the concrete jungle, because it's real. Guys are trying to scratch and survive to get every piece of what they can and to make it. So we know the mindset the kids are going to go play against, and we got to, match or surpass it with hunger and violence. So really good team. They've played great ball. You know, their offense has been fantastic the first 2 weeks, and you know, it'll be fun to go against them as well too. It's going to be good for our guys. So
one of the things that really stands out about them is all of the pre-snap stuff.
Oh yeah.
Shifts,
motions, trades.
Eye candy at the snap. It will be a bigger challenge from a communication standpoint.
Communication and keys, 100%.
Than what you guys have seen in the first 2 games. So how important is that communication for the entire defense, but most notably for your guys this weekend?
Communication is everything. A great defense is a loud defense. And if they're not talking, not communicating, that's how explosive plays usually happen. So to me, pre-snap, you know, communication, and post-snap, you know, confirmation is everything. So you see the pictures, the pre-snap context clues, talk it out, give the answers, and if you see us talking consistently on that football field, we're going to be a good defense. So to me, games like this challenge you mentally. It will be physically too, but the mental aspect of the game, just seeing your keys and seeing a little to see a lot, is going to be everything.
So we started talking about a few guys. We brought up Cortland Guillory. We've talked a little bit about K5. But how about some of your young guys? Like Day Jordan's been something else, hasn't he?
Day-Day's been really good, man. He's a good athlete. He's coming along with his body more and more. And after he woke up after the first little play of the game, he came in there and cover 2. Was kind of bright-eyed for 2 seconds, and he just played football and being himself. So Tulsa's finest, you know, working hard, great athlete, fast, and he's hungry. He wants to play. And seeing a guy like him and 2 younger guys you only see in practice, Malik Hawkins, he was the scout team player of the week last year, busting his tail. And Tristan Haynes had a really good week as well, too. So seeing these guys has been really good with their work ethic.
We have not seen a lot of any of Jacoby Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we all know the type of athlete he is and how he can contribute with this team. Is he keeping his spirits up, waiting, trying to get back to where he can contribute?
Yeah, his spirits will be high. He'll be ready to go. And I think the biggest thing is just locking in and understanding who you are. I think great players and elite players, the difference is the word called conviction, right? They have that strong conviction in what they do, who they are, 10 toes down. And, you know, him coming off a little bit of injury, getting his mindset right, he's going to have a good week. He's been having a good week this week coming back. He'll be ready to go on Saturday, and I'm excited to see him out there.
Obviously, we don't need to get into timelines when guys would return, but I do want to ask about Eli Bowen because from everything we heard, he was having an outstanding spring before the injury hit. I think you even told us that whenever you had your media avail. How has he handled it? What's the process been like for him to mentally continue to improve while knowing he wants to be out there?
For a guy that confident, having to go through this and be frustrated because he wants to play bad. Like, there's nobody who wants Eli out there more than Eli right now.
Right.
You know, and the person he is, it's been good because, you know, a young guy fighting through trials and tribulations like that, and then going back to his faith and his confidence in who he is and his work ethic has been really good. And, you know, he's been in practice. You know, we do a little indie together, him and I, and the footwork looks like the footwork. So
good.
The mindset's the mindset, and you talk about someone who's got a giant chip on their shoulder who wants to wake people up to remember who he is. That's going to be fun. So I can't wait to get him back out there ASAP as well, too.
We eating cheesesteaks in Philly? I know your body's a temple.
Yeah,
I
Philly
get it.
cheesesteaks. They got to talk like this, you know. East Coast.
Are we doing it or not?
I will.
Okay.
I will get a Philly cheesesteak.
All right.
And,
good. That's all I needed to know.
I'll go to the Rocky thing and do one of these too.
There we go. Okay.
But Philly's going to be great, man, and finally get a step into the stadium and enjoy that beautiful 3-hour flight that we got and fall asleep about twice. But it's going to be good. I think our guys are ready. Road dog mentality. You got to have that. And, you know, first time on the road together as a unit and a crew, we get to see who our DNA really is and who are the real leaders on the team to step up and put their foot down to mark your territory. So to me, that's what it's got to be for this weekend.
I like what you said earlier. Games like this truly tell you what your team's all about.
100%.
And we're going to learn. Thanks, Coach. You're the best,
Appreciate
man.
y'all. Thank
Jay
y'all.
Live. We'll wrap up Coach's Corner next, presented by Riverwind.
Thank you to our cornerstone television partners, OU Health, OG&E, Fowler Auto Group, and Coca-Cola. Coach's Corner is brought to you by One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, fan-fueled, athlete-focused. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Listen as Toby Rowland and Chris Plank talk all things Sooners. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino.
All right, welcome back into the final segment of Coach's Corner. This segment is brought to you by Warren Cat, proud sponsor of Sooner Athletics. Boy, we are, 3 shows in. I don't know if we could have had a better batch of coaches to start this thing off. Joe John was great to start the day. And Jay Valai, you talk about BYOJ on Saturday?
I am not worried about the corners having juice on Saturday with that man as the leader of the group.
Yeah. Well, we know it's Temple this weekend, and we're heading up to Philly to eat cheesesteaks and play inside the Link.
Going to a Phillies game?
Going to a Phillies game on Friday night
awesome.
to see him play Sooner great Bobby Witt Jr. and the Kansas City Royals. So let's talk a little bit about the matchup, and it's brought to you by One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, fan-fueled, athlete-focused. What's your high school coaches line? They're a little better than I want them to be. Is that the
better than I want them to be?
Better
boys.
than I want them to be. This is not the same Temple team we saw last year.
Not even close. It's a more talented team, and it's frankly just a better coached, more organized team offensively and defensively. Teddy and I were able to talk to Casey Keeler this week, and man, it didn't take us long to realize why that guy's won everywhere he's been. He's the only coach ever to win an FCS national championship at 2 different places.
2 different places, man.
The guy can coach ball, and his philosophy is so interesting. He told us he wants players that are unrealistic. And I've never heard a coach say anything like that before. He said, listen, realistic guys don't play for me. Unrealistic guys play for me. It's unrealistic to think we can play with Oklahoma. Well, guess what? That's what we're planning on doing. And it was such an interesting perspective to hear from a head coach. I hope he's wrong.
Right.
I hope we go and handle everything that seems to be working against Oklahoma playing well in this game. But this is definitely a much better team than the Temple team we played a season ago.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You mentioned the things working against Oklahoma. I think it's fair to talk about. It's an early. Well,
first of all, it's your first road trip.
That's right, number one.
Remember, a lot of new guys on this team. First road trip. You're going all the way to Philly.
3-hour flight.
Early kickoff.
Yep.
It's in an NFL stadium that's going to be half full. Maybe half full. I mean, you've got Auburn next week.
Yep.
You're coming off Michigan. There's a lot of things that point to a giant blinking sign that say letdown game for the Sooners. But I'm confident that this team has the leadership and has the maturity and has kind of reached that point of just being, it's the opponent is nameless and faceless.
Right.
But that's why I'm so excited to see how this team plays in this game, because everything points to them not playing up to the standard.
And as Jay said, there's one standard. It's what we expect.
That's right.
That Oklahoma standard. Listen, and we got 30 seconds. Is there a key whenever you got to create your own juice? Fast start?
All the guys that are really loud and yell, you just yell more. No, I think it's a fast start. A fast start would be great, especially offensively, like set the tone early.
All right, 11 a.m. local time, Saturday, ESPN2. Gabe and I will have pregame coverage starting 3 hours before kickoff on the Sooner Radio Network. For our producer, Dan Cavanaugh, that's Gabe Eichert. For Joe John Finley and Jay Valai, I'm Chris Plank. We'll see you next week inside the Coach's Corner. Boomer Sooner, everybody.
This has been the Riverwind Casino Coach's Corner, presented by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.